Hello guys, welcome back to the channel today. I was doing some work I was doing some work as usual, and I stumbled across this mower. This is I didn't own it at the time. It was sitting in the yard beside a shed. I was just looking at it. I went over for it because I had a minute, and I looked a bit more closely at it. Found out that the engine was unseized. Checked the oil was pretty good. The coil is, I didn't try to start it because I didn't know what was wrong with it, and I didn't know what the oil was like, so I wasn't going to try and start it up because, but then I found out there's no fuel, so I couldn't start it anyway. But started looking through it a bit more in detail. Checked the oil, checked a couple of things. The under deck is actually pretty good. I'll show you it now. Right, I'm actually just after finding this string wrapped around the coil, so I'm just going to take a couple of minutes and get that off, so that should never be there. Yeah, no, it's just whatever it was tangled actually. Well, not too bad, lucky enough. Looked like it was just wrapped around, and gee, just after seeing that now. But other than that, the deck seems pretty good. Looks like it was cleaned a bit better in its life extensively, and again, there's no big clumps of grass. Well, there is bits of grass around here and there, but actually that's actually plating. That is caked to the frame. I'm going to actually get a screwdriver to get all that out, but yeah, as you can see, this engine is free. Well, that's because the coil for some reason it keeps want to engage. So yeah, the engine spins around anyway. I'm gonna have to sort out that coil because this is all hanging on the ground at the time, and I just spun the engine around or the blade around to tighten this up. So I'm gonna have to see what's going on in there. But underneath the deck, pretty good. Wheels as well, pretty good. So obviously some of the story afterwards, because it's sitting here in the backyard now. Yeah, I was going to leave, and I just said, "Here, how much would you give for the mower?" And she said she was going to actually throw it out. She was going to go for the skip, so and she said, "You're more than welcome to it." And I went, "I'm definitely getting this." So put it in the back of the car, and that was it. So yeah, I checked all the wheels, and they're not all in good order, and they all have the original hubcaps on, which is pretty nice. They're all at the same level at the moment. Even though actually one of them was off, I got onto level it out. Other things. Okay, so I'm gonna have to sort this coil for starters. Gonna have to take all this off and see what the hell's going on, because I just have to realize this cover in there now. Even if it did start, something bad is gonna happen because the coil. I'll have to see my other mower, because the coil must be broken in here. Anyway, I'm about to start checking the spark plug. I disconnected it. Always disconnect your spark plug when you're looking under the deck of any mower, even a tractor mower. I'm just gonna use the wrench. That's actually on tightening. I'm just gonna take a second. Now, there you go. Now, it didn't take as much either to take it out before, and always put back these spark plugs with your hand. Thread them in with your hand, and you know when you thread it in with your hand. Don't even go near this ratchet or spanner. Just feel it in and you feed it in. The rest of the way you can screw it in with the ratchet, tighten it but as you can see there, I'll let that. Oh, that's way too close, but just have to focus. Because this camera doesn't like to focus, does it? So well, you can clearly see that's very, very bad. The engines must have been firing pretty. You won't get any spark on that. No wonder it wasn't going. But all this oily, sooty residue all around the plug doesn't help anything. Definitely going to get a new spark plug before I'm going to start it. So yeah, the mower's going to be a bit out of commission. She's not going to start for any time soon, but it's an upcoming process. God, get my camera to focus. Now here we are. I sprayed some D40 into the engine, and the engine seems to be free, so that's the main thing. In the meantime, I'm going to be doing a bit of work on this more. First, get a spark plug, try and fix out this coil. After just spraying some GT85 into the engine. It's supposed to be good for engines. It helps lubricate the piston, even if I'm not going to be starting it anytime soon. Yeah, she's no complete mower by any means. Lucky enough, I'm going to get the bag in the meantime. She has the bag for us. She's going to have to just find it. There's a couple other things missing from the engine. There's no throttle. Throttle should linkage ends here. I think your man who was driving it or using it must have used this. Must have been using that to move it up and down. And I think the original coil was up here, or except the throttle lever was here at one time. So I don't know why it was removed. Must have broke. But yeah, I'm just going to be doing a couple of things to it. Fixing the coil, new throttle lever. I'll have to try and get that because the thing is, when you start fixing something, you need a spare. And thing is, luckily enough, I'll go try and find source. Throttle lever is not the biggest deal. It's just getting the linkage and the whole lot and making sure what's right and what's not. The coil, spark plug. So the spark plug, the coil, or the accelerator coil, well, it doesn't really matter as long as it works. If it works here, I will at a later day put one on it. I don't even think it works or not, because I don't see any movement in the rest of the machine. I have to take this is the air filter. I'm going to see what the air filter looks like. It's probably really black. I'll take that out and clean that down. The deck itself, very solid. Only in places is it pretty rusted. So in places, like you can see it actually, that's not good. So under there is probably light rust, but not good either. But mostly I'm going to restore this mechanically before I do any painting. So when the engine is running and it's doing well, I will take the whole engine assembly out and paint the deck, and maybe paint this bars as well, just to give her, and I'll have it fully restored, hopefully. This has been part one. I hope you like it so far, and hopefully I'll get an update to you in the near future. So yeah, right, bye for now.